Continuing my review of speedometer apps for Android, I have the GPS Altimeter Speedometer loaded here on the smartphone. And I'm departing Hlavni Nadrazi on a different train trip from before. This will be part of the route to Benešov and Česká Budějovice, which is sometimes called the Kaiser Franz Joseph Bahn. Here I've already lost a GPS signal because we're in Vinohradsky Tunnel, but notice the Google location services is able to pick up mobile phone signals, so it's tracking us that way. There, the GPS is back now that we're out of the tunnels. I don't know exactly how it gets the mobile phone signal in the tunnels, but apparently it's able to get that, but not the GPS. So here we're pulling into Vršovice station, and now pulling out. You can see it's also partly a freight station there. And there's also a motive power depot at the other end of the yard. You can see it's built like a Y, and you can sort of see the roundhouse on the map there. And as you can also see, the app is now working because I have a GPS signal and there's no Wi-Fi on this particular type of train. I'm actually on a City Elephant, which is used for local services, so the extras on it are a little bit more sparse, although it is bi-level and I'm on the upper level. You could see the shops there, the depot, just a second ago. Then we go around this curve and through some other yards and end up in Strašnica, which you can see over there on the right on the map. And I'm getting an altitude, I'm getting speeds. I'm getting pretty much everything the app is supposed to give me. Although I've noticed it does update slowly and has a weird bug whenever the train stops, in that it doesn't register that we're going 0 kilometers per hour and the compass jumps all over the place. It also has the same spike problem in speeds when we go on curves that the DigiHUD has. So that might be a GPS issue rather than an app issue. But the DigiHUD doesn't have the problem of reading speeds when the train is stationary, at least not once it's settled. So here we're continuing after Strašnica. In a few seconds here we end up at Hostevař, and that's the old station that's being renovated. I've never seen it in such good condition actually. And this is the new station, if you can call it that, with the new platforms. There's a small metal building that's actually rust colored because it is rust, that's serving as the station in the meantime. I don't know what's going to happen to it later. The first time I've seen an all-metal building, I think, that wasn't a shanty. And it's certainly the first time I've seen a building just allowed to rust, per se. So here we're pulling out. And you could see the compass error there a second ago. Here we're heading out. And you can see the compass is still not 100% accurate. There are the containers at Uženives intermodal station. And the passenger station is next. Again, the compass is going all over. We're not even stopped. There's one of the locomotives used by the intermodal facility. And there's Kolovraty, which is the last station in Prague. We're actually headed south here rather than north, so it's a completely different line from the one in the previous demonstrations. Now I jump ahead, we're going 100 kilometers per hour, so fastest speed so far. And it's legit as far as I can tell because these units can go considerably faster than that, actually. There is one express service I know of to Pardubice from Masarikovo that they're used on. And here's Cercany, the first non-Prague station. You can see the Bistro Lokalka, which is their station pub. It's actually quite common in the Czech Republic to find a pub in a railway station, actually. They're often very busy. Or back up to over 90 kilometers per hour there. Heading south. And the app is running great. It's quite a contrast from what happened the last time. Świecice, which is the next station. A lot of these stations on this route have been downgraded to shelters, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It means you can't buy tickets at the station, and it means that they get vandalized spectacularly badly. Here the GPS cut out, and I assume it's because of those power lines. You can see it froze. I'm going to come back in a minute. And then Strzelce. On the recent corridor reconstruction, Strzelce was one of the ones that got rebuilt the most. The yard used to look completely different. Here's Mikowice, which actually has two station buildings, this one and another one on the other side of the tracks. And it has some sound walls. The sound walls look old, but they're actually only a few years old. And we're going 113 kilometers per hour there, very briefly. That might be a spike, actually. This isn't a very fast section of line. Miroshewice u Prahy. I think I should pronounce that Prahy, but I'm American. Some speed signs, which we will probably not come anywhere close to touching. And there's Cercany. Cercany was also extensively rebuilt in the corridor reconstruction. And we're going to stop because this is a local train. And we depart again. As you can see, the speeds of the local trains on this line are not very fast. But one of the weird things is that if you took an express down this line, it would actually be faster than the line to Germany, actually. That is in the other videos. Because the express trains do exceed 100 kilometers per hour on this line for much of the way. South of Benešov, the speed limit goes up to 160, and they do actually use that speed limit. Cercany on the map there. Again, it's just a shelter and platforms at this point. Used to have a station building years ago. Kotovrati also did, which you saw earlier. See how the compass is all wrong here? Throws our position all off. The GPS on this is not ideal. Piszeli, which is another station that used to have a station building. Heading further south here, heading for the bridge over the Sazova River there, you can see on the map. And this is actually where I'm going to end the video, because this was as far as I went to test the device, or test the app, rather. I didn't go all the way to Benešov, and certainly not all the way to Českobudějovice. There's the Cercany yard. This was also completely rebuilt in the corridor reconstruction, although the tracks around the shops there are rather the depot are rather the same. Pretty much the same. And there's a farewell shot of the City Elephant so that you can get a look at it. It's a basic bi-level local train. And that's it. Thanks for watching.